So if you are staking some ETH with EtherFi to get the Eigenlayer airdrop and the EtherFi airdrop, as well as the ETH staking yield, there is a way that you can increase your yield and get bonus points for both of those airdrops by using your eETH, or the liquid restaking token, in these DeFi protocols right here. And you can see that you actually get a 2x boost in most of these and a 1.5x boost in Solana Finance. But if you deposit into these DeFi protocols, then you get not only additional yield, but a boost on your points for those airdrops as well. So if you're looking for a way to maximize your airdrop farming, then this is a good strategy. And so in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can take advantage of these points boosts to increase the amount of the airdrop that you're going to get. Effectively, you're going to double the amount of points that you get over time. So that could have a huge impact. There are no points boosts on the Eigenlayer points. That will just continue to tick up at the regular rate, but the EtherFi points will get that 2x boost. Now, at this point, I should say that depositing into these protocols adds an additional layer of risk, okay? So you've already staked your ETH tokens with EtherFi. EtherFi has then taken them and restaked them with Eigenlayer. And if you deposit your liquid restaking tokens into these DeFi platforms, then you're adding one more layer of smart contract risk, because if Curve or Balancer or Gravita get hacked, or there's some bug in the protocol, then of course that could affect you. So you need to take this into consideration, and whether or not you think the additional smart contract risk is worth doubling up your airdrop points over time. But if you do decide to go ahead with this strategy and to deposit your eETH into one of these DeFi protocols, there's a step that we need to do first, which is to wrap the eETH tokens. And so to do that, you click on this button here, go back to the page where you would stake your Ether, and hit on this button that says wrap. So this is where we can wrap the eETH into WeETH, and then we'll be able to take that token and use it in the DeFi protocols. So you can select how much you want to wrap. If you want to do the whole amount, you can just hit max and then hit on this button here that says wrap. Now, I recommend waiting until gas fees are relatively low to do this. Once you do actually hit wrap, you have to confirm a transaction in your wallet and pay the gas fee for wrapping the eETH. And it's gonna cost me about $8 here. I can try and save a little bit of money by selecting the low gas fee option, but then I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm. Now you'll see that the total amount I have to spend in gas fees to deposit this into the DeFi platform is going to be around $25. But the idea is that with the 2x points boost, I will hopefully make a lot more than the $25 that I spend depositing onto the platform in the actual EtherFi airdrop. Okay, so that transaction did go through. It cost me a little less than $9. Now it's not showing up in my wallet though. You can see that I have a zero balance of eETH, but the wrapped eETH token does not actually appear. And so in order to actually manually add it, I have to click on the transaction hash and then select the token from the transaction hash, the transaction that I just completed, to wrap the token. And then I can add it to my MetaMask wallet by clicking on this button right here, and then I'll be able to see the balance. Now, in case you're wondering why I only have 0.145 wrapped eETH as opposed to the 0.15 that I started with, it's because the exchange rate is 0.972 to 1. And the reason why is because regular eETH actually increases over time the amount that you have in your wallet, just like Lido staked ETH. So if you hold it in your wallet over time, the amount of the token that you have ticks up. But in order to actually use this in DeFi protocols, you need to have a token where the balance in your wallet is consistent, but the value of it increases over time. So that's how Rocket Pool ETH works, and that is how WeETH works. So that's why we have to wrap the token before we can deposit it. Now, out of these 5 DeFi platforms, the one that I'm actually going to use is Balancer. And there's a good reason for that, because the pair in this token pool is actually wrapped eETH and Rocket Pool ETH, which are very similar in terms of the way that they accrue value over time. On the other hand, with Solana Finance, you need to have just regular old wrapped ETH, which is a bit different. And then with Maverick and Curve, the token pools for these ones are paired with just regular wrapped ETH as opposed to another form of a staked ETH. And the reason why I won't be using Gravita is that when you go to make a deposit, you not only need to actually provide wrapped eETH to this protocol, but in order to open up a position, you need to borrow a minimum of 2,000 GRAI tokens against that position. And in order to do that, you already need to have a significant amount of wrapped eETH. So against the total amount of collateral that I have, I would only be able to borrow 65 GRAI tokens. So I don't even have close to the amount that I would need to be able to actually deposit into this protocol and borrow the necessary amount to open up a position. Now, I know that might seem a little bit complicated, but all of this is to say that I will be making a deposit of my wrapped eETH into the balancer composable stable pool against the Rocket Pool ETH token. Now, in terms of the actual stats for this pool, you can see that the 90-day trading volume against it is about $800,000. The TVL of the pool is consistently going up over time, and it's over 3 million. And so once you're ready to make a deposit, simply hit add liquidity and select the amount that you want to deposit. Now, since I only have one of the two assets in this pool in my wallet, I'll be just depositing wrapped eETH, and you can set your slippage tolerance to be as low as you like. Then hit preview, and I'm going to have to do 2 transactions in my wallet. The first is to approve the spending of my wrapped eETH tokens, and then the second will be to actually make the deposit. So this first transaction will cost me about $2.50, and the second transaction says it will cost me about $16, $17. Okay, so that was successful, and I have now added liquidity to this pool. If I open up the Blockchain Explorer, we can see that I've actually spent $13.88 on that transaction, so a little bit less than what was quoted. And between this transaction, the token approval, and the wrapping of my eETH, that's a total of about $25 that I've spent to make a deposit into this liquidity pool. Now, obviously that's a decent amount of money, but I do think that a 2x points boost over time for the EtherFi airdrop will probably yield way more than the $25 that I spent to make this. But of course, you have to decide whether or not you think it's worth it. And if you're depositing a larger amount, if you have multiple ETH in one transaction, then the percentage of the total value of the transaction that you're spending on these gas fees goes way down. So it's actually a lot more economical if you're transacting in larger amounts. Anyways, I also want to add this new token to my wallet so I can see the balance, which is the stable pool token that represents my liquidity position. So I can just click here and add this to my MetaMask wallet so that I'll be able to see the balance and I won't forget that I've made a deposit here. And now if I open up my MetaMask wallet, I can see the token right there representing that deposit I just made. And now that I have this position open, I'm earning an APR for providing liquidity. It's going to be about 1.4%. If I actually stake the tokens, I can earn an additional about 3 to 7% by staking the LP tokens. However, in this case, I don't think it's worth it because I would need to spend more money on 2 more transactions, so probably another $20 or so to stake the LP tokens and then also to unstake them for just a few percentage points in APR. But really the reason why I'm doing this is not to get the APR, but to get the points boosts from EtherFi. And that 2x point boost over time, I think will be way more worth it than a couple of percentage points on APR. And the longer that you keep a position open on one of these DeFi platforms, the more points you'll get. And when you are ready to actually make a withdrawal, you simply hit on this button here, and then you can select whether you want to withdraw from the pool proportionally in both assets, or if you want to withdraw a single token. So I can actually just withdraw the full amount of wrapped eETH that I deposited, and the price impact will be negligible. So I can get all of that back minus the transaction fees, of course. So yeah, hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. If you are interested in doing this strategy to maximize an EtherFi airdrop, it's probably worth it, especially if you do it soon and you accumulate 2x points over a longer period of time, then it makes the transaction fees worth it. Of course, it's important to mention that there are risks associated with this, and on the balancer page, you can see the list of the pool risks, so I recommend doing your own research before making a deposit. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.